Also going to have a high school update. A lot of state championship games today. A lot of games. Granada coming to the city to play Sacred Heart Cathedral. Reardon hosting Camp Alindo. Lincoln High School hosting, I think, Christopher High. Lincoln High won the boys' city championship in the AAA at Keysar last Friday. George Washington Eagles girls, they won some games. So we'll get to high school a little bit later. But let's get to Anthony before we get in on the LaMelo Ball and LeBron James. Anthony, what's happening, man? Good morning. You're on the roast. Anthony, go at once. What's up, Anthony? Sorry.
Oh, there we go. My bad. I'm sorry about that. So, first of all, I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys for being fair and impartial about just all topics that you guys talk about, specifically James Wiseman, because I know it's not all the Warrior fan base, but it's like some of them are just they treat him and their opinion of him like they know this kid personally.
Yeah.
And I'm 36 years old. This dude is 21. He has not done anything to me, on a personal level for me to wish anything bad on him. All I want him to do is be a good, have a good career. And I just don't understand why people are like that. I never really was a fan of LaMelo Ball, so I'm actually glad that we didn't take him because I just don't think that his game is Warrior basketball as far as putting the ball around and everything. Mm-hmm. But I really just wanted to call and just give my 2 cents on the James Wiseman thing because, I do think that we're going to look back at that and maybe feel like we might have made a mistake on giving up on him right now. But I truly do understand to a certain degree that they panicked and they not working out now. It's never going to work out. And I think that's what happened. I'm actually still going to be kind of critical on Steve Kerr and just his rotations and his coaching this season. But, he's earned my equity, and so I'll settle down on it. But I agree with everything you guys are saying with him because, it hasn't been his best coaching job this season.
Yeah. Anthony, I've come to this conclusion, and let me know what you think about this. I don't think Wiseman would have ever been comfortable or reached anywhere near his maximum potential here in this situation. Simultaneously, I do think it was the wrong decision to get rid of him, but I don't fault them for it because I understand the odd circumstances they found themselves in. Does that make sense, or is that a tapestry of chaos of me trying to paint the picture?
I think that's very correct, and like you say all the time, two things can be correct at the same time. And he might not have been able to reach his full potential, so the best thing for him to do was to go on and see if there was greener pastures elsewhere.
Yep.
And it wasn't his fault; he was picked second, right? He can't control that. And so he got picked into a situation where it is what they call a win-now situation. And I don't think that Steve Kerr was ready and honestly and he wasn't willing to maybe integrate him in the best way. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if he didn't have the ability to do that or he just didn't want to. I think that's the question I have is were you resistant to integrating James Wiseman in a way that was going to highlight his skills, or did you just not know how to do that?
Yeah.
No doubt. Great call, Eddie. Great call. I'm looking at his game log here. James Wiseman, his first 4 games with the Pistons, plays against Boston Celtics, 5 rebounds, 11 points, 5 of 9 shooting, 24 minutes. Next game against Orlando. And look, they're 0-4 since Wiseman has arrived, but Detroit's not in the business of winning. They're in the business of rebuilding and trying to find a star to go alongside Cade Cunningham, James Wiseman, and, of course, Jaden Ivey, the young man out of Purdue. Orlando, he goes 4 of 10 rebounds, 8 points. He gets a double-double against Toronto over the weekend against Shaka Prittle, 10 points, 10 rebounds, but he fouls out. And also 9 of 11 last night, 23 points and 7 rebounds. So the Wiseman watch is going to be interesting in the future. Oh, University boys, Urban boys, also in the playoffs, Shasky.
Nice. We get these kind of texts a lot, Monte, from the 415. Warrior fans that are criticizing Steve Kerr at any level for anything better go to another NBA city and watch what their coach has done for them in the last 8 years. What a joke. I mean, can we meet in the middle on this? No one is running Steve Kerr out of town.
Nobody.
We're literally saying every single time the guy is a great coach. On this one thing, we don't think that they nailed it. We think they kind of screwed it up a little.
I don't think he's done a great job.
Like Bonte.
I mean, George Seifert won Super Bowls. He still got fired.
But what's one of the worst decisions that we all look back on Eddie D and we go, man, he was one of the greats. What's one of the worst decisions that he's ever done?
What do you think it is?
I think it's trading away Charles Haley.
That is a big one to the Dallas Cowboys. See, I was going to say letting Ricky Waters go.
Okay,
but
also that's on line 2.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Eddie was not above criticism.
No doubt.
He's still great. No one's saying he's not great. We're saying, hey, these are some of the imperfections.
Right.
All right. Are you married? Okay. Because your wife or your significant other will remind you of your imperfections at every single second.
Right. Not perfect. Bob Myers has made mistakes. Joe Lacob has made mistakes. Steve Kerr has made mistakes. Steve Kerr's made mistakes. He's made a lot of mistakes this season. Still want him to be the coach. I don't want to think about life after Steve Kerr as the head coach of the Golden State Warriors.
We were just talking about the Giants.
Right.
One of the biggest mistakes they've ever done, and I defended it at that time, signing Barry Zito.
Yep.
They still won a championship. Doesn't make the Barry Zito signing still not a bad one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a terrible
Both things
signing.
could be true.
It was a terrible signing. Let's go to Gene in Oakland. Gene, what's happening? You're on the roll. So what's up, Uncle Gene?
Hey, Gene.
Hey, fellas. Morning.
Morning.
Yeah. So, I was actually in favor of the Wiseman trade. I mean, I didn't know that Gary was going to be hurt, not playing, but even if he comes back next year, I'm in favor of it because I never thought Wiseman was a proper fit. I mean, he belonged on a team like Detroit, okay, where he could develop, take the time. And he needs a lot of time. He was raw. He wasn't ready. I mean, you look at his offensive numbers, they've always been good. That's never been the problem. Problem is defense. And that's where it shows up on the plus-minus, I think, He doesn't rebound well. He doesn't know his positioning well because he's too young and too raw. So, I wish him the best. I love Wise. I'm sorry for the way he was treated at times, but, I think it was all for the best.
Tyler Miller here. I want to jump in on this.
I'm sorry.
Jasky. Nobody on this team plays defense, and he's right. We pinpoint, we point fingers at Jordan Poole and James Wiseman. Nobody on this team plays defense.
How many minutes total this year? Did James Wiseman play?
not but how many?
250.
Wow.
You know how many small sample sizes those are?
No,
we can say, they had the worst.
5 minutes here, 6 minutes there, 8 minutes there, 9 minutes here. Okay, maybe you'll get 11. Okay, here's 3 straight DNPs. Okay, here's a trip to Santa Cruz. Wait, come back to Salt Lake City to play the Jazz. You're going to get a 5-minute stint in the second quarter, now play in the second half. I mean, you can't jerk around youngsters like this. Same thing happened to Harrison Barnes. Second season, and the Warriors signed Andre Iguodala. And they bring in Andre Iguodala from the Denver Nuggets. And Mark Jackson decides to start Andre Iguodala. And I remember in real time, I said, this is a mistake. Barnes needs to start because he's a youngster who throughout his entire career, high school, North Carolina, his rookie season, he started every game. He doesn't know what it's like coming off the bench. He doesn't know what it's like to be like, okay, am I going to play now? Am I going to play then? Am I going to play now? And that ruined him his second year. People forget. And he wasn't the same player. And they lose to the Clippers in the first round. Steve Kerr comes. Harrison, you're going to start. Iguodala, you're going to be our sixth man. You can adjust to being a sixth man a lot better than Harrison Barnes. Got to know players' strengths and weaknesses. Got to get the most out of everybody, right? So getting the most out of everybody was Harrison Barnes, you're going to start. But Iguodala, you're going to close a lot of basketball games. And it ruined Harrison Barnes that second year. The worst thing in the world, especially in the NBA, is not letting youngsters play. Youngsters need to play through their mistakes, and they just need to play. That's why thank God Kuminga's playing right now. Because the fact that he was getting DNPs early in the season, that looks criminal.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I find it funny that, like, we're saying there's no minutes and there's no opportunity to develop whatsoever when I'm watching this team and I'm like, they're mediocre.
It's a
and
500
there's
team.
tons of minutes out there.
Right.
Like right now.
Ty Jerome and Anthony Lamb are seeing an abundance of minutes, and I'm not knocking them.
Even if you're the biggest Wiseman hater, Wiseman hater, can we meet in the middle and say like this? JaMychal Green, really?
And he's not playing now.
He should have jumped Wiseman in the development. What's more important to this organization in the small term and long term?
Developing James Wiseman. Because guess what? Moses Moody, there's teams out there who want him. His confidence is done. You haven't played Moses Moody.
I don't know. I don't even know what he is.
And he was like ascending last season. We talk about the Dallas game in the fourth quarter where he hits, 4 or 5 threes. Yeah. He comes in game 2 against Dallas. Plays really, really well in place of Damian Lee in that second half where Looney had a monster third quarter. And now Moses Moody can't even sniff the court. You missing him in the friend zone yesterday. I was like, damn.
He is.
I know he is. But his confidence is done.
I know. And like these people are saying that, like, well, if you played the young guys, we'd be the 13th seed. What are they today? What are they? The 7th?
The 7th seed.
Oh, and there's like a game difference. What's the 12th seed right now?
12 seed.
Is how many games back in the loss column? Just for perspective here.
Let me pull that up.
We're acting like their season would have been tanked. It's already been a
12 seed. The LA Lakers are 2 games behind the Warriors in a loss column.
So there's a 2-game difference. Okay.
Right. In the loss column.
Yeah, that really would have set them back.
Yeah.
A couple games. A team that does not care about the regular season.
Right. That's told you they don't care about the regular season or City. Let's go to David in South City before the break. David, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hi. So there's only a bad teacher. There's no bad student. That's what I could say about Wiseman and Kerr's situation. They could have adjusted to the way Wiseman played and let him roll until he develops into a star. I think that's what the Warriors are missing. They're stuck to their system. Right now, they're just shooting threes. And there's nobody playing inside game. If they have Wiseman, they have somebody who could play the inside game. Mm-hmm. So that's it.
Yeah, Wiseman watch. It's going to be interesting as we move forward here. Let's talk more about the Blazers. The Blazers coming to town, of course. Dame Lillard coming off a 71-point night.
Is this going away?
The Wiseman stuff?
Yeah.
We're going to be paying attention to Wiseman for the next 10 years.
We got a whole segment out of it. We got to keep it.
Oh, Wiseman watch?
No, I'm talking about just the general Warrior fan with an eye over at what he's doing.
Every So if you're anti-Wiseman, every time he struggles, they're going to be loud. Look at Wiseman. 4 points, 3 rebounds. He fouled out. What a player. And then when he has a good game, the pro-Wiseman fans, look at Wiseman. 23 points, 7 rebounds in 27 minutes. It's not going away for a very long time, Shasky.
I think I'm with you.
Unless you can, if you can milk another championship.
Remember when Ekpe Udoh was actually doing good things in Milwaukee for like a 5-second stretch?
People were like, Ekpe Udoh.
Remember him? Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, Ekpe Udoh.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas. How much did we watch him?
The West Coast Wizards. They were my favorite team. Larry Hughes, Jameson, and Gilbert.
And then they had
Hibachi?
And then they had Caron Butler.